believe it or not, the coffee made from these beans sometimes sells for as much as £60 a cup here in London. It's marketed as one of the rarest and most expensive coffees in the world and is sold in luxury stores and restaurants throughout the capital. Kopi Luwak, as it's known, is made in the most unusual way, from beans that have been digested by Indonesian civetkatten. Now, shoppers and coffee drinkers, they're often told these civetkatten are free-roaming creatures that eat a natural diet from the jungle floor. But Inside Out has gone undercover in Indonesia to discover that the marketing doesn't always match reality. Chris Rogers has the story. I should warn you that some viewers may find some of the images in his film disturbing.
It's one of the world's rarest and most expensive coffees, sold in the chicest establishments in the capital. But this is no ordinary beverage. It's made with the help of a wild animal, known as a palm civetkatten or luwak. But has it come at a cost to the welfare of the luwak? Stephen Hurst travels the globe in search of the most exclusive coffees. But there's one coffee this London importer refuses to deal with. It's made using beans found in the droppings of a wild animal in Indonesia, Kopi Luwak.
I'd always question the availability of the quantity of luwak compared to the ability to produce and collect it wild. Anybody who scratches the surface of it will see that the supply of wild luwak vastly exceeds the possibility to collect that amount.
The craze for the beverage was sparked by the story behind Kopi Luwak. In the 18th century, plantation workers discovered the luwak, or civetkatten, had a taste for coffee berries. The digestive system of the civetkatten couldn't handle the stone inside the berry, and this would pass right through their system. It would produce a unique tasting and highly desirable coffee. Many of those who sell Kopi Luwak reassure their customers that the coffee is sourced from the plantations where the luwaks roam and forage freely, and collection is strictly controlled to ensure the civet isn't harmed, and that the animal's droppings are collected from wild jungle civetkatten, handpicked by farm workers, and not from caged civetkatten. But is the story of picking droppings from wild luwaks really a myth? We're travelling from the port city of Medan to the town of Takengon in Aceh in North Sumatra, the heart of Indonesia's Kopi Luwak production.
So this is Kopi Luwak.
Posing as a London-based coffee importer, Kopi Luwak producers agree to show us their production line. In the Aceh Highlands, the dark secret behind one of the world's most expensive coffees is revealed. Civetkatten, caged for coffee.
Oh, can I take a photo? Gosh. So it's quite a lot.
Battery farms are helping exporters meet increasing global demand. This farmer admits that a forced diet of coffee berries is taking its toll.
Nampak dia kalau udah mau mati. Luar berat itu darah. Mati sehat dia kan.
In all, we saw cramped, filthy conditions for captive luwaks on more than a dozen farms, with illness and distress often hampering production. Some animals attack each other. This luwak lost his paw.
These animals are solitary in the wild. They don't want to be this close to each other. Simple as that.
Dr. Neil de Cruz of the World Society for the Protection of Animals is a specialist in animal behaviour.
These wild animals have behaviours they need and want to express. So that's why you're seeing lots of the kind of symptoms there, the abnormal behaviour, the pacing, in many cases the kind of frenetic, kind of frenzied behaviour patterns. But also some of them just clearly look depressed.
The question now is how much of this Kopi Luwak, produced from luwaks in captivity, is ending up in the London market. Still posing as a British coffee importer, I have a meeting with a source of captive Kopi Luwak in Takengon. We're told there are 60 animals producing a consistent supply here. The owners claim the quality is so good and reliable, they have a big-name client.
Enggak, Kak. Cuma ke Sari Makmur.
Only Sari Makmur.
Only Sari Makmur. Okay, do they buy a lot of luwak from you?
Mau yang
Enggak mau yang liar.
karena
Karena kan ada apanya untuk keesannya, asli apa enggaknya. Enggak mau orang itu. Katanya banyak yang campur. Entah itu dimakan biawak, entah dimakan apa, kata itu. Enggak mau ya piara.
Convinced we're interested in doing business, Sari Makmur invites us to see their privately owned plantation, the Wahana estate. Then a meeting with the Vice President, Andre Spranoto.
It's wild, of course it's wild, but...
Mr. Spranoto explains Sari Makmur has two luwak products. The first comes from collectors and independent farmers in Takengon, called wild luwak.
How do you make sure that they only give you wild?
Well, seriously speaking, I cannot guarantee that it is wild luwak because we also never check that. But to guarantee that it is wild, I don't know. I cannot say that it is guaranteed.
Of course, he's unaware we've filmed on a battery farm that claims to sell direct to Sari Makmur. But the Vice President's admission they can't guarantee it's wild Kopi Luwak is perhaps an attempt at some honesty. When we contacted Sari Makmur to inform them they'd been investigated by the BBC, they responded by saying,
"We do ask farmers before we buy if it is wild luwak, and they claim that it is."
And they confirmed once again that
we cannot 100% guarantee whether it's caged or not.
The company even admitted,
"We are not keen on selling this wild luwak as we cannot control it."
Every day we will have poops found in the Wahana area.
Next, we're told they also have a premium product. It's not connected to the farms we witnessed in Takengon. It's from droppings made from wild luwaks that wander freely onto the company's own Wahana estate.
Every day we will pick the poops out.
After going through a supply chain, Wahana luwak ends up on the shelves of Werelds.
They're never in any kind of enclosure. It's literally, they're in the jungle.
Yeah, in the jungle, they come out during the night time, they eat the cherries and then they just poop everywhere.
Right.
But these photos taken in December 2010 show a different image. Civetkatten on the Wahana estate, in some kind of enclosure. The importers we have spoken to, who have toured the Wahana estate, were not shown any captive civetkatten, and neither were we. In their response to the BBC's investigation, Sari Makmur later admitted they do have a civetkatten enclosure on their Wahana estate, but they say for scientific research.
In our caged civetkatten programme, we study the animal behaviour, diet and its breeding behaviour. We do not sell any of the coffee beans from the caged luwak as it is against our business model.
Werelds said their UK supplier of Sari Makmur's Kopi Luwak has given them
every assurance the coffee we are provided with is organic and comes from wild palm civets.
The statement added they were working with the UK supplier and will investigate the evidence from this programme.
If necessary, we will review the sale of this product.
The Kopi Luwak industry relies on trust along every part of the supply chain. While many retailers insist their coffee is ethical, it's impossible to be that confident.